Hi, welcome to my video on find the linear inequality from a graph. Find the inequality from a graph, linear inequality, that is steps. Find the equation from the graph, that's the boundary line. Is the shading above then greater than, below less than? If a vertical line, shading to the right is greater, shading to the left is less. Is the boundary line solid? Then it's equal to, greater than equal to, or less than equal to. Is the boundary line broken? Then no equal sign, just greater than, less than. Let's do some examples. State the inequality for each. That's the linear. Notice I repeat, it's linear because there's other inequalities that could be quadratics, cubics, absolute value, but we'll deal with them later on in different units. So to get the equation, so what we do, we're looking for, this is the line, so we're looking for y equals mx plus b. So we have a y-intercept of, notice the y-intercept is 1, and the slope is rise over run, so if I leave this point and go to this point, I will go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I will rise 3 and run 2. Rise is positive, the run to the right is positive. So I have the boundary line is y, 3 over 2x plus 1. Now, the shading is above the line, so therefore it's a greater than, and the boundary line is solid, so it's an equal sign. So that's the inequality that represents that graph. B, again, we have a line. Notice an oblique line. When the line is oblique, then we can write y equals mx plus b as the boundary line. An oblique line is a line that's not vertical or horizontal. So let's see what the y-intercept is. The y-intercept is plus 2, 0, 1, 2. And the slope is, so if you leave this point and go towards another one, so these are two, you go down 2, right 3. So down is negative, to the right is positive. So we have a boundary line of negative 2/3 x plus 2. And that boundary line is broken, so there's no equal sign, and it's below, so it's less than. So it's less than with no equal sign. Okay, let's continue. And notice in C, we have this state the inequality, that's linear inequality. Notice in C, the line is not oblique. So this is a horizontal line. So all horizontal lines are y and the number. So the number that this horizontal line passes through is negative 2. So therefore, the boundary line is broken. So therefore, there's no equal sign, and we're shading above. Above is greater. So that's the inequality that represents that line because it's horizontal. And another way, if you think about it, because the horizontal line, the slope is 0. So think about it as a 0 slope with a y-intercept of a negative 2. So if it has a 0 slope, so that's why we can write it as y is greater than negative 2 because it's 0 slope, the x disappears, so we just get y and a negative 2 with the inequality because it got horizontal line got a 0 slope. So that's why in a horizontal line you got y equals the number. Y equals the number of the intercept. So let's practice. Practice means pause the video and work these out. State the inequality for each. Again, we're talking about a linear. So we have a line. So what's the slope of this line? And what's the y-intercept of this line? I like to get the y-intercept first. That y-intercept is negative 1. And the slope, let's see. We'll notice the slope is negative because it's slanting up. If you slant up to the left, it's negative. If you go up to the right, it's positive. So this is a negative slope. Why? To go from this point to this one, I have to notice I do my rise first. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's down 4, and I go 1, 2, 3 right. So that's my slope. And the boundary line is y equals negative 4 over 3x minus 1. The boundary line is solid, so it's an equal sign. And it's a less than, so it's less than, equal to. Less than is below the line. And number 2, notice the slope of this line is positive because it's going, watch, as I go up, I go to the right. So this is a positive slope of a line. If you go up and to the right is positive. If you go up and to the left is negative. And number 2, let's see, the y-intercept is 0. Okay, the y-intercept is 0, going through 0. The slope, let's see, we're going from this point to this point. So that's a rise of 1 and a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're rising 1 and we're running 5, and it's positive. So the equation, the boundary line is y is 1/5 x plus 0. And the boundary line is broken, so it's no equal sign. And it's above is greater than. And that inequality can be written as y is greater than 1/5 x without the 0. But with the 0 intercept, the 0 is understood to be in this inequality. And let's continue. And again, you can practice at any time by pausing the video and working out the equation of this inequality. When I say equation, sorry, working out the inequality. It's not an equation. The inequality is not an equation, but it's an inequality. Greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to. And in this one, we have, notice we have a vertical line. Automatically, when I see a vertical line like that, the x-intercept here is 1, 2, 3. So automatically, a vertical line is x and its intercept. So, and the line is broken, so there's no equal sign, and shading to the left is less than. So that's pretty fast. If you know the vertical line, all vertical lines cannot be written in terms of y. Cannot be y equals mx plus b. It has to be x and a number. And what number? The number of the intercept. Number 4, we have an oblique line, so we have a slope and a y-intercept. The y-intercept again is 0. And what's the slope? Notice I can go from one point to another, so I can go from here to here. So that's down to right 1. Down to right 1. Down is negative, right is positive. So the slope is negative 2 over 1, or negative 2. So y is negative 2x plus 0. And it's above the line, so it's a greater, and it's a solid boundary, so it's an equal sign. So the inequality there represented, y is greater than or equal to negative 2x, and the 0 is understood. Normally you won't see the 0 written in when you write down the inequality. So that's finding the equation of the inequality, which is, again, I'm saying equation, I gotta be careful. Finding the inequality, linear inequality from a graph. And if you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, because there's more videos coming. Visit my website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. What content? The content is on my YouTube channel, Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.